Hello and welcome to Mad Owl Goes Racing, and today we're in Rennsport having another look at it. They've had a couple of updates, so what I'm going to do is I will quickly go through what they've updated and then have a little try and talk and have a little drive. I must alt-tab because this thing's a pain in the bum. It won't let me get my mouse out of the window without alt-tabbing. And this is the update that was on the 8th of August, was it? Yeah, 8th of August. Changelog 22374. Code physics implemented Praga R1 physics. And the reason they've implemented Praga R1 physics is because they've added the Praga R1, where they don't just put new content, Praga R1, etc. Implemented version 1 of the damage system for all available cars. Changed upshift time for Porsche 911 brackets 992. Equalised fuel consumption for all GT3 cars. Multiplayer reworked remote cars movement algorithm for better online multiplayer experience. I must admit, the one online race I've done, which I did before this, everything looked fine. I didn't see any cars jumping about anyway. So, fixed problem with cars sometimes being spawned in the air and moved to spawn point at gameplay stage start. Gameplay improved checkpoint times accuracy. Reworked corner cut detection systems for better flexibilities when giving penalties. Fixed some bugs related to corner cutting. Input. Added predefined input profiles for some devices. Added possibility to turn a car with mouse input. Spectator stroke replays, improved replay and spectator functionalities for better visual experience. Animations, improved driver animations. Audio, fixed some issues with sounds disappearing in certain conditions. Updated BMW M4 GT3 car sounds. Updated Porsche 911 GT3R brackets 992 sounds. Updated curb sounds. Added a UI button sounds. UI added timer showing how much time player has left to be ready before being disqualified from the race. Changed tyre temperature display UI to show more accurate tyre temps. Fixed some problem with player history menu. Fixed problem with clipping lists in lobbies. Loading screen should no longer stop animating in final stage of loading. Art stroke level stroke car visuals. Updated wheel rotation blur effect. Changelog from the 9th of August for 22463, which I presume is the actual build number. Yeah, it's the bit right at the end. Just checking that is the one I've got. Physics, updated default setup files for all beta included GT3 cars. Adjusted default BOP for BMW M4 GT3 2022, Mercedes AMG GT3 2020 and Porsche 911 brackets 992 GT3R. Why do people always keep changing the order they've got all those bits in? Because earlier on it was the 911 GT3R brackets 992. I do the same, but audio, fixed some problems with Porsche 911 brackets 992 GT3R sounds. UI, fixed displaying information about damage in contest preview. Fixed problem with damage multiplier in single player being cleared for milestone builds. Right, so basically, the one thing they don't mention is the fact they also added another track, that track being their meme track from the beta with a 8 instead of a capital B, because they only gave out 8 keys. That's the meme, so they produced this track to match it. I will just have a look around it and then explain why I think it's totally fucking pointless, but as you can see, it's beta. Should I choose the Porsche? Yeah, what the fuck, we'll go with a Porsche. I'll drive the proper car in a minute. I don't know why it revs twice when you do that. I love the way you can't actually tell where the fuck you are until you've gone somewhere. Are we going the right way? Maybe. Oh, I think we are. So that's it. It's literally a figure of 8. If I'd have made a small oval, I'd have been fine with it, but a figure of 8, other than the fact that you can test your damage model on it quite nicely, for obvious reasons, it's a figure of 8 and you cross over in the middle. Other than that, you have to be going, why? If you're going to spend dev time developing something, make it something worth bloody having. Because frankly, and I'm not alone in this, a lot of people went, fuck why? And I don't blame them. So yeah, that's the rather pointless figure 8. Yeah, it's nicely modelled, but totally bloody pointless. Until you're going to have some destruction derby type things with destructible cars. Okay, you've added damage and you can test it on that. I did find the damage is a bit strange. The times I've tested it by just driving into a barrier, basically it seems to just bugger up your steering more than anything else. So let's not go there. Let's go to new buggering, and we will select the sensible new car. And a Praga, obviously that's been added to Race Room not that long ago, and I quite enjoyed driving it in that. So yes, hopefully you're going, I hope it's just as good as it is in there. Oh, I think it is quite good. Let's just put it in 4th gear and then change down the gears. Why? Yep. The blip on downshifts even works when you're not moving and not pressing throttle and not doing anything, so yeah. I will say the audio on this, I mean in terms of the actual basic sounds of the engine, it's fine. It's just that you listen on the upshifts, as long as you got more than about half throttle, they've all got exactly the same wobble on the upshifts, which would imply that that's a bit canned and it's not driven by physics, because it always sounds the fucking same. Might change pitch a bit, but otherwise it's exactly the same every time, and I don't think it should sound like that at all, not if it's driven properly from flex from the drive line. Car wise, in terms of driving, this thing's actually really nice to drive. Obviously got no driving aids. In terms of feedback, the force feedback's fine, apart from it feels a little bit nebulous on the brakes, so it's quite difficult to tell if you lock the front end up. Oh yeah, whoops, caught a bit too much curb there. You're saying that if you have locked up a few times, because you'll start feeling quite a bit of rattling through the steering from vibrations through flat spots. But in terms of actual how this thing handles, I think it actually handles better. It's more planted than the GT3 cars. I think I could just about hear a bit of tile square there. I think it's actually been set up so it's got a bit more understeer potentially than the GT3 car, so when you start to accelerate out of a corner you don't feel like you're instantly rotating until you actually get a bit of power down. I found the GT3 cars, they seem to rotate and doesn't even seem to matter what you do with the traction control, whereas this thing, it actually pushes a little bit initially and then you can get it to rotate. So and I'm starting already to get quite a lot of vibration through the steering from flat spotting. I keep meaning to check the sound settings and see if I can turn the tyre noises up. I can't remember if you can or not. But overall, I think it's a really nice addition. Handles really nicely, it's nice and predictable. You can get the back end stepping out and doing silly things if you want to. I mean, deliberately sort of drift it around a bit. Oop. I didn't hit the curb that time, and I still managed to spin it a bit. Love that. Penalty for going outside. I gave myself a penalty by half spinning, so thank you. But yeah, it's mostly on the brakes and turning that you might have a bit of an issue, but then I think that's what I found with the racer inversions. That might just be fundamentally what the car does. Bit wide. Could have done without that extra downshift, but there you go. But again, I think it's still got the same basic sort of tyre where it's got quite a wide spread of grip without actually being particularly high grip, so it's quite a flat curve too, the grip curve, which means you're probably more likely to get your cars rotating. See if I can do a lap without killing myself or being stupid. I don't know if it's me, but it does feel like sometimes the FFP is a little bit late in telling you that the back end's going. But because it's slow and predictable, usually it's not normally a problem. Must admit, I haven't actually driven this thing or even driven in Rennsport for probably part of my day after this thing came out, and went underwhelmed about the track, but the car's nice. That was better. I keep meaning to see if you can turn down the amount of movement the head has when you're braking and accelerating. I don't get motion sick particularly, but I know some people who are finding that quite difficult to get their heads around. I mean, people who say they get motion sick from my MS2 must be having a horrendous time with this. But yeah, this is a nice car, nice addition. Whether or not they're going to manage to increase the speed of their development a bit, I don't know. I think a lot of people are getting the impression that it's all a little bit slow. I know some people say quality over quantity, but to be honest, you should be able to do a few more things. I mean, they're meant to have the Goodwood hill climb as they were at Goodwood, I believe, for the Festival of Speed. So, although I did read that it was not the highest quality modelling and texturing, so it's like everything else. Until you see it for yourself, you can't always judge from a few stills, because to be honest, what it looks like in a still, it doesn't always translate to what it looks like when you're moving. Because let's face it, even if you haven't got a wall which lacks a few triangles here and there, are you going to notice when you're doing 100 miles an hour past it? I don't know. I think I did get into the 159 low when I had a go the other day, but I was probably trying a bit harder and wasn't trying to talk at the same time or even think really. But yeah, that's a nice car. If I go and go back to the main menu and have a look at the replay, if I can remember where it is. It's in here. Turn it on. Do I want the special camera or do I want the gameplay camera? Or do I want the track camera? Let's do the track camera. Well, that was clever. What happened there? What have I done? Oh, someone managed to turn the bloody auto director off. That was clever. How'd you do that? I don't know. But yeah, it looks nicely modelled. They say they've adjusted the animation for the blur on the wheels. I did notice it seems to sort of do this on the lettering. Oh, there, you should be able to see it there. It's almost like it's not quite straight. Very peculiar. You have to be looking at it from the right angle with the light in the right place, but yes, I think I can't remember which key it was to find the bloody UI again. Try that. No. There, you should be able to see what I mean. It seems like it's sort of moving around and doing some weird stuff. And I thought the other day when I was looking at it that the front and rear wheels seem to be going around at different rates as well, which is slightly peculiar. But yeah, it's fair enough. Sure there's a thought there was a way of rotating yourself around the camera, around the car. I might be mistaken. Any rate up, that's enough bullshit from me. So yeah, nice additional car. Track, bit of a waste of time other than for testing out damage, which is now modelled. Like I said, I did try crashing a car a couple of times. The Praga, the sort of bodywork falls off, but mostly it seems to be down to making it so you can't actually steer the car. I mean, every time I've smacked into something, the steering's gone, so you basically can't go anywhere. You can't repair the car at the moment. They've not added anything in the way of sort of pit stops or anything like that. So, okay, it's got damage modelling. Yes, you'll damage the car. Yes, you'll have to retire if you're in a race and you get damaged. So, other than stopping people crashing into you, I mean, like I said, I did one multiplayer race. Somebody dive bombed straight up the inside on the first lap, first corner. I thought, yep. Looks like the usual sort of open multiplayer lobby. So yeah, I think there was 9 people signed up for that race. 3 dropped out, 6 finished, and half the field was spinning left, right, and centre. So yeah, I ended up coming 3rd somehow. Yes. So yeah, it's progressing, but it is very slow. Whether they'll sort of increase their rate of development, I don't know. We'll find out. Presumably, I haven't got any income at the moment, so fuck knows how they're paying for all this, or who's paying for it, but whatever. At the end of the day, if it comes out with a reasonable quality sim or race game, I don't mind whether you want to call it a sim or whether you just want to call it a game, it'll be another possible game to play. That's fine by me. Same as the GT Revival from Straightforward. Another thing to look forward to in the not too distant future. Hopefully they'll be starting WMD3 sometime around Christmas. Also around about that time we should get the Le Mans Ultimate, so there might be a few more things to play with by then. So only another 4 months. Yeah, about that. 4.5 months. I'm getting old and getting forgetful. So yeah, I mean, in terms of they're supposed to have updated all the default setups. They basically don't feel a lot different than what they did before. Like I said, I hadn't driven that much anything in the way of the GT3 cars, so it had been 2 weeks between me driving the cars and then having another go in them or whatever. And obviously in that time you might forget what they felt like before, but they're still very rotatey, even with the traction control turned up so it's flashing all the time. You don't seem to get a lot of difference between that and turning the traction control off on new rubber anyway. So yeah, slightly weird. Whether they're going to change their sort of grip curves, I don't know. I don't know whether they're going to stick with a sort of fairly flat, very predictable, but ultimately probably not that grippy tyre, or whether they're going to go for something a little bit peakier. So at the moment it's probably got flatter grip curve than just about anything else out there. I think somebody did actually do a video on that. I can't remember who it was. If I remember who it was, I'll post a link to it. Somebody was going, yes, it's probably like that and fairly flat, whereas iRacing sort of and that's like that. So yeah, but yeah, how long it'll take them to get a few more tracks and a few more cars in here, I don't know. And whether they've basically gone, our physics is fixed and that's it, I don't know. Be interesting to see what they do change. It might be that somebody's got a specific idea of what they want and that's it. See how the beta goes. I haven't seen that many people complaining about the handling, but it is what it is. Depends whether it's a dev that's going to listen or somebody who's just gone, this is what we're doing and that's it. We'll see. But for me, for now, that's enough bullshit and enough waffle. So enjoy racing, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Where's me button?